Today we give you latest scoop on one of the greatest footballers of our time. That's right, Cristiano Ronaldo, the highest goal scorer of all time, is probably the most followed person on social media. The Portuguese legend recently made headlines for signing the biggest deals in football history. A 2-year, €200 million. This was the biggest salary check Ronaldo ever received. And let's be honest, with that much money on the table, it was probably hard for Ronaldo to refuse the magnanimous offer. Following the end of his contract with Manchester United, Ronaldo was once again a free bird last year, ready to head elsewhere in Europe and try and rack up some more records in UEFA Champions League. But here's the thing, claiming he didn't receive only serious enough offers to further his career in Europe, promoting him to join Riyadh Based football club An Nassr when they made an offer he simply could not refuse. In fact, did you know An Nassr is one of the kingdom's most successful teams? And with the likes of David Ospina and Luis Gustavo in their squad, the team has won the domestic title 9 times. So signing the greatest footballer of our time was a pretty big deal, and expected to bring some more wins and a new wave of inspiration for young people across the country. As the 5th club that Ronaldo played for through the course of his professional career, the Saudi were psyched up to welcome the living legend in their midst. And with Lionel Messi, Ronaldo's greatest rival in the game, also making a huge move to Inter Miami in MLS, it seemed the show must go on as two of the greatest players of all time take their talents to new parts of the globe. But was this the right decision for Ronaldo and his family? Stay tuned to find out. Despite the fact that he received a hero's welcome in the Desert Kingdom, according to the latest rumors, the initial joys are slowly frizzling out. Well, at least according to the Brazilian football legend Rivaldo, this may not be the best deal the Portuguese 38-year-old has signed. In a recent interview with Mundo Deportivo, Rivaldo said, "I understand that sometimes the players are fooled by the big contract they signed in Saudi Arabia, but then life is more closed and football is not always as easy as expected." So what's happening now at the Al Nassr club has triggered Ronaldo fans into thinking that the greatest footballer's deal in history might just come to an end. So, here's what you need to know about the latest chaos brewing in the kingdom. Let's start with one recent incident that has left fans scratching their heads and wondering just what is happening at the club. Last month, Ronaldo received the first yellow card of his Al Nassr career. But here's the thing, it wasn't for a challenge or a foul, but rather an unusual incident that left fans and audience a little baffled, to say the least. In a match against Abha in the King Cup quarterfinals, with Al Nassr leading 2-0, Ronaldo had possession of the ball midway inside his own half as time was up for the first half. But when the referee blew the whistle to signal the end of the half, Ronaldo seemed to have lost his cool. Feeling frustrated at not being allowed to continue the attack, Ronaldo gestured towards the referee with his arm, clearly expressing his frustration. As if the aggressive gesture wasn't enough, he then picked up the ball and angrily booted it downfield, showing his dissatisfaction with the referee's decision. Sadly, instead of defusing the situation, things only went downhill from there, as the referee promptly showed Ronaldo a yellow card for his unprofessional and angry reaction. But hey, the Portuguese still went on, continuing to complain and hurling a few more angry gestures towards the referee. Naturally, none of this sat well with the match referee, his colleagues, or the audience. And while we were still reeling in from last month's drama at Al Nassr, this week things have reached a new low. That's right, it seems that Al Nassr's €200 million fine isn't exactly Cristiano Ronaldo, who has been having a mixed experience in his new adventure in Saudi Arabia. The Portuguese superstar, who has been known for his incredible goal-scoring prowess, did not have his best game for Al Nassr against Al Fia, and seemed frustrated with the way that several Al Fia opponents were competing on the pitch. Ronaldo's frustration was painfully obvious as he clashed with opponents on multiple occasions during the match. In fact, he was actually the first player to leave the pitch, clearly struggling to contain his anger. But his reaction last month after losing the first spot on the table was another reminder of the chaos brewing at the Saudi Arabian club. So after the final whistle blew and Al Nassr ended up on the losing side, Ronaldo's reaction was far from pleasant. Furiously gallivanting off the pitch, Ronaldo actually ripped off his captain's armband in frustration. But if you thought that was it, think again. Ronaldo then went on to boot over a bunch of water bottles, clearly unable to control his emotions. And even though his teammates tried to pacify him, he was just on a roll. Quite understandably, Al Nassr had high hopes, but with just 7 games left to play, they currently rank second, 3 points behind Al-Ittihad. And adding fuel to the fire, they were also knocked out of the Arabian club in the semi-finals, despite the odds. By the looks of it, things are spiraling out of control at An Nassr. But despite all the chaos over the last month, CR7 is still hopeful. But for his fans around the world, the current standing of his team is definitely shocking, and probably a great source of disappointment for CR7 himself. While it's true that Cristiano Ronaldo is undoubtedly one of the greatest players of our time, his recent outbursts at Al Nassr have sure raised some eyebrows. That said, Ronaldo's recent actions, such as ripping off his captain's armband and booting water bottles in frustration, point to a lack of composure and maturity in the pitch. And being a seasoned professional who has played more than 1,000 football matches to date, Ronaldo is expected to handle disappointments with grace and not let his emotions get the best of him. With this massive change in CR7's temperament, fans are left wondering what's cooking behind the doors. Whether it's just the pressure from the game or an outcome of the big move to Saudi, it's hard to say. Remember, Saudi Arabia is unlike any country where Ronaldo has lived, worked, or played. An Islamic monarchy, the kingdom is home to the holiest sites in the Muslim world, with strict laws against alcohol, gambling, and open mixing of the sexes, standing in stark contrast against the Western liberal countries. Safe to say, fans had always predicted that Ronaldo and his family were set to experience the biggest shock culture of their lives. And from what we hear, Ronaldo's girlfriend Georgina Rodriguez too isn't exactly happy with her life. Desperate for a return to Spain, Gio is finding it hard to adjust to a country and culture so different from what the family is used to. With no bars and buzzing nightlife and super strict dress protocols for women, it's easy to imagine that Georgina is finding it ever so hard to adjust to her new life in the kingdom. For more football-related content, feel free to give our channel a quick follow, and while you're at it, turn all the bell notifications so you never miss out. Thank you.